We are ready to go. It is time now to stand and start this meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Woohoo! We are now ready for the Toastmaster of the day, none other than Charlie Simpson. Toastmaster Simpson, welcome, welcome.
Hello, hello. On this dreary day.
No, it's sunshiny. Great sunshine.
And Adrian said he made it to the meeting without getting hit by one drop of rain.
That's the truth, too. I didn't get one drop.
I need to learn that skill. And the theme for today is back to school. Are you happy or not? Anyone got little kids going to school?
Every day.
Got a few. I guess I need to change the theme. This is my older audience, so we'll keep it. I know some of you all might ran into traffic this morning because of the buses. As far as our team, we have our grammarian, Patricia Minor, will conduct that role. Our Toastmaster Minute will be by Shauna Meadows, my mentee. Still waiting for that icebreaker. Real talk. Then we have Speaker 1. Philip will be the first speaker. Speaker 2 by Camille. And we do not have a third speaker. We do. Jerome. No, they told me to just call you Jerome. They say don't try to pronounce the last.
His name is Go On and Do It.
What is that now? Go and do it. Go and do it. That's what that's what Adrian told me. Go and do it. All right, that'll be our third speaker, and table topics will be conducted by Adrian. Then general evaluator will be Joyce Biddle, and she'll introduce her team. So let's come on up, Patricia, with the grammarian and the word of the day.
Good afternoon. I chose a very, very common word, but I think it has great significance for this day and time. My word for today is love. Love is a feeling of strong or constant regard for and dedication to someone, a person with whom one is in love, and a positive regard for something, or a brief romantic relationship. Now, for you Bible scholars, there are different types of love that's often mentioned. I'm going to talk about two of them, agape love and phileo. I think we are in a day and time where we need to see more agape love or either phileo love. If any of you have kept up with the news this past weekend, we most definitely did not see agape love or phileo love. Agape love is sacrificial love. This is the most noble and powerful type of love because it is an act of will. In my readings, it was saying that even for our enemies, or people who we see as our enemies, we should display that agape love, that sacrificial love. We have to keep in mind of the human mankind. Phileo love is usually brotherly love. I think we all possess brotherly love in this room today.
Yeah.
This type of love is most often shown within close friendships. Phileo love is shown toward people we feel warm and affectionate to. This means we do not show our enemies phileo love, but we do not feel warm and affectionate toward them. However, God does cause us to show agape love toward those individuals we dislike and clash with. Let's take this on and lead our lives today, showing that agape love. Toastmasters.
Great word for today. love. Shauna, come on down with the Toastmaster Minute.
Come on down. All right. Minute, 1 minute. Woo. Come on down.
Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters. As the Toastmaster Minute person, I'm supposed to give a brief tip to help the members become better Toastmasters. One of the things I wanted to talk about was being a team player. I feel like we have a wonderful team here. I love being a part of this team. And I like the fact that everybody pitches in and takes on a role and a responsibility to make everything come together here. There's ways that we can maximize our contribution as Toastmasters. One of them is to use our strengths. Some of us have strengths in being an evaluator. Some of us have strengths in being the timer or the Toastmaster of the day. I like the fact that here everyone can take on their strengths and their weaknesses to become a better Toastmaster member. Of course, we all want to be perfect, and we would love to have every role gel together and be perfect. However, sometimes that's not the case. So we just keep pushing and trying to give our best contribution to the team, and to be a great communicator, and to stay flexible, because oftentimes there are things that come up that allow us to take on more roles and more responsibilities, and that makes us stronger and more creative and a better player as well, team player as well. And also, I like the fact here that we don't cherry pick our projects, meaning that you might enjoy being the timer, which I do. I like being the timer. But I know that I also have to eventually give my icebreaker. And I know that I also have to be an evaluator and take on the other roles and responsibility, which I'm looking forward to all of those. And I just wanted to give you some words of wisdom today to help you be a better Toastmaster. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for that Toastmaster Minute. Our first speaker we have coming up is Philip. He will be speaking out of the Competent Communication Manual number 2, Organize Your Speech. The project title is 4 Types of Evaluations. Philip, come on up. Evaluators.
Good afternoon. It's great to be here. What kind of speech evaluator are you? I want to share with you 4 main types of speech evaluators. This is information that comes from Toastmaster Darren Fleming of Australia, made possible today by the convenience of the internet. We're grateful for that. I also want to challenge you to be the right kind of evaluator. The first type of evaluator is the whitewasher. We have all seen and heard the whitewasher evaluator. The whitewasher evaluator is overflowing with praise even when it is not appropriate. This person doesn't offer any specific suggestions for improvement, typically doesn't give the speaker any concrete feedback on what worked or what went well, just whitewashes everything and says, basically, everything was wonderful. Great job, enjoyed your speech, everything was wonderful. Here's what guests think when they hear a whitewasher evaluator. They think, if that's a great speech, what would I have to gain by joining this club? If they don't push you to be even more effective as a speaker, do these people just get together and make each other feel better by saying, great job, everything was wonderful? If so, the guests might think, if so, I have other things I need to be doing with my time. The second is the repeater. This is the type of evaluator who just repeats all of the main points that the speaker heard. Do you have any thoughts? What do you think that Darren Fleming might have given as the main reason that people fall into the habit of being repeaters? He actually spent, I'm sorry, go ahead. Maybe that they weren't listening, but specifically what we mean by this is an evaluator who gets up and says, you grabbed our attention, you gave us the three main points, which were this, this, and this, and it has everyone in the audience thinking, I heard that too. What's the point? I heard the same speech that you heard. What's the point of that? Darren Fleming says that he believes the main reason people fall into the repeater pattern is because they don't trust their ability to give good quality feedback. It's a lot safer to say, I listened to your speech, I took notes, you got up, you had a good introduction, you did this and this. He says that what guests think when they hear a repeater evaluator is, I heard that too. What's the point of this exercise? Do these people just get together, give speeches, repeat what they heard? If so, I have better things that I need to be doing with my time. The third type of evaluator is one that I'm sure we've all encountered. It's the captain. The captain says, here's what you should have done with your speech. Here's where you missed an opportunity. Here's what you did that's a no-no. Here's what you should have done. The captain evaluator can leave people thinking that maybe for people who have a huge need to be great, great speakers, they might endure what it would mean to be criticized. Here's what you should have done. The opportunity is gone. You can't go back into the past and do anything about it. But here's what you should have done. Most people wouldn't want to put up with being scolded, being called out from the lectern in front of everybody during their evaluation, the evaluation of their speech, and they might think, like the others have thought, I have other things I need to be doing with my time other than to put myself under that kind of scrutiny. The fourth type of evaluator is the best type of evaluator, and that is the coach. The coach tells the speaker, for the benefit of the speaker and the benefit of everyone listening, here's how you can be even more effective in the future. Here's how you could be even more effective in future speeches. If you do that well, you can leave guests thinking, I want to join. You can leave guests thinking, if I joined this club, I could get this kind of evaluation with every speech that I could give. I could leave the meeting having learned something every week about my skills, about other people's skills, about tips and tricks that I could use, about what I thought was great. However, my evaluator says it wasn't quite as effective. Here's a way to be even more effective. That's what we want to leave guests thinking. How do I join this club? How do I get in on the benefits of this kind of speech feedback? One of several ways to accomplish this is through giving good, thorough speech evaluations. You're helping the speaker to evaluate all based on all that you know and for the benefit of all the members and guests who are present. It's an act of love, actually, to give this kind of evaluation to the speaker. In conclusion, of the four types of evaluators, the whitewasher, the repeater, the captain, and the coach, I challenge you today, in your next speech evaluation, to be a coach. Mr. Toastmaster.
Four types of evaluators. Thank you for that information. Now we're moving on to speaker number 2, Camille, and she will be speaking also out of the Competent Communication Manual, Organize Your Speech, Sunday Dinner The Dilemma. Uh-oh.
Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters, distinguished Toastmasters. My topic today is Sunday dinner, the dilemma. Most of us are familiar with the term easy like Sunday morning, and I like Sunday mornings. They feel different. They run a little slower, a little smoother, and depending on what you have to do that day, it can make or break your day. So a lot of people like to relax on Sunday mornings. Some people like to attend worship services. I do a little bit of both. I also like to get out in my garden really early on Sunday mornings. But whatever we decide to do, we at some point have to figure out what we're going to eat. So that's the decision that usually has to be made is around who's going to eat, what are we going to eat, and where it's going to be eaten. So for us, the who is usually my husband and I. That's where it starts. That's my family unit, my immediate family unit. It may increase in size to my in-laws, my parents, other friends, so we may end up with this big, large group. Next, we decide what we're going to eat. So if it's just me and my husband, maybe we'll eat in, or maybe we'll go out. If the group is pretty large, we're probably going out and eat something away from the house, or we may do a potluck type thing where we meet at my house or someone else's house and everybody just puts all their food together. The where of it all kind of goes along with the what, because we may eat in a home, maybe my home or someone else's home. We may eat in a restaurant, depending on the size of the group, or we may end up at our parents' home or something like that. So it all kind of goes together. I usually have to think about what I have a taste for, what I want to eat. My husband is like, let's just go eat something. So we kind of fight about that a little, but it works out. This Sunday was really a little hybrid of all of that. It ended up being just my husband and I. But the chicken that I took out of the freezer wasn't unthawed, so the plan to eat at home didn't exactly work out the way that we wanted. So we grabbed a burger, then went home and I worked on the other stuff. So that ended up being a late dinner, which is part of my lunch today. But the dinner that could have been yesterday was the baked chicken, the eggplant casserole, the purple hull peas. So that it ended up working out, but it was a late dinner. Excuse me. So I really enjoy Sundays. I enjoy Sunday dinner. I enjoy the family time, the food, the fellowship, and it just makes the whole day good. Sunday afternoons tend to flip on over to another weekday to me. So once the afternoon, the evening starts, you're pretty much just trying to get ready for the week. So that the hustle, the bustle, the dishes, the laundry, and all of that. So I really enjoy the precious time that we have with our Sunday dinners. And even though the decision doesn't always come about easily, we enjoy it. Thank you.
Thank you for that. We know who to go to when we get ready for our next potluck. I love a spread like that. Speaker number 3, Dr. Go and Do It. That's all I have. Come on up.
Come on down. All right, come on down. Toastmaster, you're on. Yes, come on down.
Gotta find my PowerPoint here. Okay, come on down. Oops. So trying to find my PowerPoint. Okay, here it is. And yes. Good afternoon. It's in the spirit of love, and thank you, Toastmaster Patricia. And again, I'm honored by distinguished Toastmaster Joyce. She wore orchids. Orchids are the joy of my life. She wore the royal orchids. So what do we know about orchids? Because this is my icebreaker, My life is modeled through an orchid. And does anyone know the 4 international values of Toastmaster? Yes. Well, before you start thinking about it, I'm going to concentrate on number 3, which is service. It's a Jesus number. Number 3 is a Jesus number. And there's a reason why I chose number 3. Again, with love. I think they saw my presentation before. I had paid them $5 before. So you ought to. But anyway, we are committed and commanded to serve one another. Because that's how we have active love, right? Great. So in doing that, I standing here, I've tried to take that into consideration and modeled my life through in loving others through love, through service. You see, I stand in front of great service members. All of you are competent servant leaders, doing wonderful things, touching more than 2,000 lives. See, there are more than 20,000 orchids in the world. Orchids have fragrance, they're medicinal, they have a strong cultural value, and that's what every one of us here represents. Again, I want to thank Toastmaster for this wonderful. So how do we do that? I stand in here, I had to leave all the shows. It's in service that we reach each other. We share that love. And in the quote that I have down here, we must discover new islands. When you do for one another, you bring in the paradise that God promised us, because it's in giving that we receive. But it's not about receiving, it's about love. So who am I and what am I striving for? I'm striving to become a servant leader, to become like some of you here. And one of my prayers is that I become an answer to someone else's prayer. You might not know sitting here, but there's a great man sitting here who has been my answer, who has been the answer to a lot of my prayers, in the same person of Dr. Mukasa. I could spend a lot of time here talking about that, but that will be for another day. Let us all be an answer to each other's prayer. Now, this comes the rewards. Before I go into telling you all what I've done, I've spent most of my life serving in the United States military. You will see a long list later on. But I just want to focus on 3. Men of Faith, Knights of Columbus, and Kiwanis. K-I-W-A-N-I-S. Our commitment is serving one child, one community globally. That's our motto. Our statement is, how do we develop, how do we share if we don't reach out to children? That's our commitment. So I seek to serve you. Yes, if you come down to preparedness and you want something, I may try. But my strive is to get 100%. I'll be remiss if I leave out our immediate service that our great Toastmaster here and Dr. Toastmaster Bill partakes every year that we serve our community, the Barber and Beauty Shop. I do contribute in a little way. Where I'm going with all this is that sometimes when you serve, like the picture you see there, the darker from the bottom, you want to become that orchid, that array of sunshine that brings joy to everyone. And in conclusion, I want to remind you of 3 things. When you serve, it's love. That's what I'm trying to do. I want to be a major for social justice. I want to be a servant leader. I know if every one of you here will help me to achieve that. Thank you.
Thank you for that speech. I chose the wrong topic for today. We shouldn't be talking about back to school. It should be love your brother as God loved the church. Huh. Start preaching up in here. Love. Now we're moving on to our table topics, and Toastmaster DTM Adrian Duncan will come up and lead that.
Thank you, thank you. Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters.
Great.
Welcome to each one of you. With love, we can do what? There's nothing, right? There's absolutely nothing you cannot do with love. The one thing I found most interesting in his conversation, and your conversation, would 3 people stand up just volunteer for something? Don't tell me what, just stand up for something. 3 people. Just 3 people stand up for something. Good. Okay. Tell me your name. Give me one name. Jerome. Stand up and tell me, if I had an evaluation, my evaluation would contain 1 point. What 1 point would my evaluation contain? Coach. Anybody, can you help me tell me what a coach does? What does a coach do? That's it. Right. When should a coach give you criticism? Jerome, Toastmaster Jerome, when should that coach give you criticism? Right. One-to-one, face-to-face. Thank you. Give me a big hand. That's exactly right. Number 2, who's the next person? Tell me first name. Patricia. There is one thing that I cannot do when I'm doing an evaluation. What is that one word that I cannot do in an evaluation? Right. One item or one principle that I cannot do in my evaluation about me or about someone else. One principle or one item cannot do. Repeat. That's it. Why? Because when I was a counselor, I had a counselor that was professional. This one counselor would ask me questions. However, it was not what I said. The person never repeated what I said. Why? Because she told me, if I'm repeating what you said, the person closed their mind. They close their mind because they don't want to hear what they just said because it makes them feel inadequate, was what I was told. Is there any other word you can think of, Miss Patricia, Toastmaster Patricia? Okay, give her a hand. I'd say she did an excellent job. Wow. I'd say excellent. Number 3. Who's number 3? Carol. Oh, Carol, you made my day. There is one person in the world that I'm not sure I can forgive because, don't tell the name, there's one person I cannot forgive because, what is the cause, Miss Patricia? Carol? Carol?
I can't, there's no one. I've gotten to a point in my life where I forgive and go on, so I've passed that.
Then there's one word that you have in your heart, mind, body, and soul. What is that one word that you have?
Love.
Somebody can read. You see, each one of you, you just did your evaluation. And in truth, you just gave Philip his evaluation. Why? Because one of the things, when you criticize someone, I have a friend of mine, a close friend of mine, that quit Toastmasters 14 years. Does anybody in this room tell me why? That's it. Exactly right. 100%. They gave him an evaluation, was not even close to what the presentation was about. They gave him a presentation, an evaluation, that had nothing to do with the speech, nor the performance, nor the content, nor the way he was dressed, nor his attitude or altitude. They just simply went down the list of 100 things and handed him a 5-page piece of paper that had all the things that he did wrong in the presentation. I would say to each one of you in this room, and write this down, L-O-V-E, write this down. Y'all didn't hear that, love. If you will do your evaluation with love, not criticism, give them one or two suggestions, just like you just gave each one in this room today. You will have one of the most beautiful, which you already have one that's beautiful, marvelous, magnificent, and fabulous Toastmasters. If you will go to the members that were members here, go to them and sit down and tell them, our Toastmasters, Arkansas Health Masters, is about love, not about criticism. Will y'all consider doing that? If you'll do that, hold up your hand. If you'll go to somebody, hold up your hand. Yes, we will. Hold up your hand. And make a commitment to go to somebody and tell them, this club is about what? Love. Mr. Toastmaster, Jeffrey Simpson, you did an excellent job. You're a great teller. Love. I can do it. You believe it? You believe I can do it? I got you.
Thank you for that. For leading table topics for us. Now, next we'll go into our general evaluation team, and Joyce, EPM, lead us in that endeavor.
Well, our first evaluator is Adrian, but I believe Adrian's already did his evaluation. What do y'all think?
Any questions? Any questions? Okay, I won't skip out. They tell me I can't skip out.
All right. Come on, Adrian.
Number one, did you all believe that was from him? Did you have it? Toastmaster Philip, was that from within you? Sure. All right. Yes, I agree. Because I saw the love. I saw the feeling. I believe if you felt what he saw in this message, it was not about me, it was about how do I want my evaluation. If that person was a new person, when I first saw Philip, be delicate with him. But tell him 1, 2, 3. That's exactly what you did. He told 1, 2, 3. I think the most important, he told us how to evaluate you as an individual. I believe he showed you, tell the person that you have an objective. You have 3 objectives in that presentation. Look at your book, 1 through 10. Tell the person that's evaluating you, these are the 3 objectives that I want you to tell me that I did or did not do. Then give me 3 suggestions. Yes, this was good, 1, 2, 3. Is that right, Toastmaster Philip? Sure. Then when he closed, he said, give them something to lift them up, encourage them. Is that what you said?
I could have brought that point out a little bit more. But I wish I had said.
With love. And I believe what he did in the 4 parts that he gave you, he showed you love. If you will tell the person that you're evaluating, here's my speech and here's the 3 or 4 objectives that I want you to tell me if I met them and if I didn't. I believe he did an excellent evaluation. I believe he did an excellent presentation. Do y'all agree with love? Give him a big hand. All right, Toastmaster Bill, General Evaluator. Excellent. Madam, thank you. Good job. Excellent.
Our next evaluator will be Toastmaster Leonard Mikasa as he evaluates Camille.
Okay, come on down, Toastmaster Leonard.
Thank you very much, distinguished Toastmaster Joyce. What has love to do with eating? A familiar topic. I eat 3 times a day. I eat Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays. Toastmaster Camille introduced her speech with a Sunday time. I agree, it's time to focus on love on weekends. We are scattered by work, the daily labor, the dollar demands. On Sunday, let's plan love through a meal, Camille told us. The introduction didn't quite come out strong. Camille could have made it stronger, maybe challenging me. What it is I do on Sundays. Is a meal the most important thing? My Sunday family time, fellowship. It's hard to talk about love without a meal. challenged me. Perhaps visual could stimulate my thinking about these meals interacting with the God-given gift of love. Could have used also more gestures, show the... Actually, I thought you are not talking about a dilemma, you are talking about options in eating. I felt it was options, you're okay. You are not stressed on Sunday because you had to make these tough decisions. All in all, yes, we appreciate even things we do daily matter, like eating, family time, eating, which is a big challenge today. We need to have more of those. Thank you so much for reminding us about the beauty of love through a meal. Distinguished Toastmaster Joyce.
Our third evaluator is Toastmaster Dave as he evaluates Toastmaster Jerome.
Here's what you should have done. That's what the captain would say. Madam General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, honored guests, and especially Dr. Go and Do It. When Toastmaster Jerome was speaking, I was thinking about this quote from Stephen Covey, and he said, "I sought my God, and my God I could not find. I sought my soul, and my soul eluded me. I sought my brother to serve him in time of need, and I found all three, my God, my soul, and thee." Because I think that's how we can connect when we serve others. That's how we can connect spiritually. Very powerful. I love the theme. I love the theme of flowers. Clapping. I didn't know love was the word of the day. I did it again. I loved when Toastmaster Jerome came out and he matched. Didn't you see how the orchid matched the shirt? That was so clever. And that was the theme throughout the speech, the common thread, flowers. The icebreaker is important so we can get to know the speaker. I felt that I got to know Toastmaster Jerome better. I liked how he complimented. He complimented particularly Dr. Mukasa, but he complimented the whole group. I think when you compliment one person, it is like, in a way, you're complimenting everybody. If you just point someone out, particularly Charlie, I think it does reach out to everyone. It's a way to connect with people. I commend Toastmaster Jerome for that. I thought he put his heart in his words, and I thought about TAL, Think, Act, Laugh, and Learn. I thought he made me think. He asked even rhetorical questions. I don't know about act, but certainly laugh and learn. Excellent job. Of course, we don't necessarily need to make people act with an icebreaker because we're learning about, and maybe the act was just for me paying attention, because you have to sell people on anything. Right now, I'm trying to sell you on listening to me. I'm trying to make you act. Some people are looking at their phone. Who is? No. I'm watching. Adrian is not looking at his phone. We know that. In my opinion, how the speech could have been even better. When Jerome came up here, a little delay. However, I don't think it was that distracting because we want to have some silence at the beginning. You saw me come out here. I didn't immediately start speaking. Craig Valentine says that as humans, we sleep in noise, but awake in silence. I think there's a lot to be said in that. That's when we pay attention. Not with all the noise, but if you come up here and you just pause, people will start to pay attention. The only other thing, I thought that we were told that you modeled your life after an orchid, but I don't know why. I don't know if you covered that. I missed it. I missed that part. That was my fault. But overall, great organization, great content, great delivery. Look forward to your next speech. Madam General Evaluator.
Now that we've well covered love with our evaluators, we're now moving to our grammarian, Toastmaster Patricia.
Thank you. Boy, I feel love today. "23 times the word love was used today. How about that? You would think Jerome and I had a conversation. I put him down for 5 times, but if I paid attention and counted the number of times love was in his presentation, in his PowerPoint, infinity. Charlie used the word twice. Adrian used the word 5 times. Shauna used it 1 time. Leonard used it 5 times. David used it 3 times. Toastmaster Joyce, 1 time. Overall, grammatically, everyone spoke well. The only one suggestion I would give to our speaker number 2, Camille, and I know that you're new and getting started, just be watchful of your crutch words. I heard some ahs and some so's, but I won't get into Brittany's report. Madam Toastmaster.
Can't you just feel the love? We'll move on to our all-counter report from Toastmaster Brittany. Oh, and I love that dress.
I love your dress. Greetings, everyone. I was the all counter for today, and it's a challenging task.
Isn't it, though?
It is. I was surprised. Do y'all hear that? Oh, okay. Okay. I heard 2 ums. I was counting so's, but I was uncertain of when they were correct usage or not. So I didn't ding the bell for that. But there were 10 so's, 2 buts, 1 long pause, 1 C, 1 well. Based on that, 3 ums. Based on that, so's was the crutch word used the most today, and I noticed that it comes out very quickly, so quickly that I couldn't get to the bell fast enough. That concludes my report. Thank you.
Brittany. We got to remember, don't leave the podium empty. Okay. Moving on to our timers report. Toastmaster Antoinette.
Madam Toastmaster, Mr. Toastmaster, Madam General Evaluator, Toastmasters, and revisiting guests. Good to have you. Do we have another guest in the back? See, this is not even my part. I don't know where I'm supposed to function. All right, then. Do the timing. You can tell that's not one of my great skills. All right, then. Let's start with speaker number 1. Philip Toastmaster Borden, DTM. He spoke 6 minutes and 9 seconds. The next speaker was Toastmaster Camille. You brought it in with 3.21. The next one was none other than Dr. Jerome, 5 minutes and 18 seconds. We have the evaluation of Adrian, Toastmaster Adrian, 1 minute, 31 seconds. We had Dr. Leonard Macossa, 2 minutes and 27 seconds. We had the evaluator coming from Dave Rutney, 3 minutes and 32 seconds. We have the grammarian report, 1 minute and 1 second. Our counter tied with her, 1 minute and 1 second. The Talmadge report, we do not know. I'm sure it was right on time. I missed the table topics, but that's because it was a different kind of table topic, a challenge for me. Just getting up here timing and speaking can be a challenge, but I'm so glad y'all came out today, and I'm sure I won't go over my 1 minute, and I'll be sure to shake my general evaluator's hand. So glad y'all came out.
All right, general evaluator comments. We had a wonderful meeting today. We started on time. Everything's with love. I love the word today. Didn't y'all love the word today? I didn't see any obvious boo-boos today. We had everything going. Everybody came in, did their role like they were supposed to. We didn't have to make any last-minute substitutions today. We need to give ourselves a hand today. All right. Now, we'll turn it over to our presiding officer, none other than the president, Toastmaster Antoinette.
If you can see the background work behind this program today,
Don't forget we need to do this.
that's what I brought it up here for. I appreciate you all coming to this meeting and performing like never before. Give yourselves a hand. We got good information from people. Now, what am I supposed to be doing? All right, here we go. We're supposed to be giving out some pins of induction to 5 members. Toastmaster Camille, would you come forward? Toastmaster Jerome, would you come forward? Toastmaster Shauna, would you come to the front? Would you stand over here, please, to my left? Toastmaster Victoria, come on down. Oh, Victoria's not here. That's Brittany. Okay. How do we get this thing over here? Help me out. We are going to induct you today as being members of the inducting officer. Membership in the Toastmasters is a privilege, and the only way to gain the benefits of our program is to actively participate, as you have done today. Do you, Camille, promise to be an active member of this club, to attend meetings regularly, prepare fully for your duties? Do you also promise to fulfill other points in the Toastmasters promise?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Toastmaster Shauna, do you promise to be an active member of this club, to attend meetings regularly, prepare fully for your duties? Do you also promise to fulfill other points in the Toastmasters promise?
I do.
All right. Toastmaster Jerome, do you promise to be an active member of this club, to attend meetings regularly, prepare fully for your duties? Do you also promise to fulfill other points in the Toastmasters promise? All right. Now, do you members of the Health Masters Toastmasters Club promise, you can stand if you will,
Please do.
do you promise to support each of these members as they work in the Toastmasters program? If so, say I do.
I do.
You may be seated. It is my pleasure to declare you, each one, as installed as members of the Health Masters Toastmasters Club. It is our privilege to honor you and welcome you to this club as members.
Congratulations. You're looking great. Congratulations. Thank you. Good job. Good job.
Now you may go back to your seats. I think I need you up there. Did you get the pictures, anybody?
Looking at you.
1 or 2 pictures. As you may have read on the program, the contest, speech contest, is changing to September 5th. That is Tuesday, right after the Labor Day holiday that we will be off. You can go ahead. I want to caution everyone to write it on your calendar. Please come to our contest. But if no one volunteers, we may not have a contest. We may just have someone speaking, showcase someone speaking. This contest consists of the humorous speech contests, also the table topics. I believe we have several people in here who could compete in the table topics contest. I need to see a show of hands for the table topics if anyone is interested. Toastmaster McCosta, with love. Very good.
At least try. That's one of the things we ask is try. There's no problem with trying because you've got this week and next week to join and consider doing that humorous speech contest and table topics contest. It's a wonderful experience. It will give you a fresh new outlook with Toastmasters if you'll consider it and do it.
Toastmaster Joyce Biddle is going to be a contestant for the humorous speech contest. Is there anyone else that would like to try to give a speech at your very best? That's all we asked. I'll give you time to think about that, and you can email me, Antoinette Mitchell, at antoinette.mitchell@dhsarkansas.gov. Thank you. I'm on the list with the agenda. We need a contest chair who will organize the contest. Who would like to volunteer for the contest chair? We have the chief judge already. The chief judge is going to be none other than Toastmaster Rutney. Rutley. He did that rodeo in the spring, didn't you? Let a newer member come. We will coach you through it. We will coach you. So shall we put your name in, Toastmaster Jerome, as the contest chair? Very good.
Give him printed material and show him.
We will show you ahead of time. Any questions that you have, just send your questions to the VPE or to myself. Jonna will not be back, I think, until the 2nd of September. She will be back just in time, I believe, for the Toastmasters speech contest that we will have.
I just want to make a point.
Yes.
You all know that by joining officially, you can enter any contest.
You're eligible. And no requirements. Just show up.
And the beauty of the topic contest, I've done it a few times, is you don't have to prepare.
There is no
You
pressure.
just come in and it might be a question that's just perfect for you. You can win the whole thing. We had a gentleman that did very, very well. He just had joined. I guess it wasn't the tabletop. It was the student contest. He was never, the whole Toastmasters was going, enter the contest. He entered and he won. So I'd recommend giving it a shot because you've nothing to lose. If we all win. You don't really lose. You win because you learn. So give it a try. I think you'll have fun.
I believe that's the truth. Let's move on to our agenda for next week, which is going to be the 21st. Look at your agenda that you have there. Let's find us 3 speakers for next week. Don't everybody raise their hand at one time. We can only take 3 speakers at one meeting. Icebreakers. All right, then we have Dr. Jerome coming up to the mic again.
Good. Go.
And we have Shauna, I believe. Look at her smiling. Week after next. All right. On the 28th. All right. Thank you, Shauna. Toastmaster Meadows. Anyone else want to come up and do their icebreaker?
Is Lucy here? Was she done with it?
She's not here. She will be doing another role, is what she told me. Mentors, would you be sure to check with the members? Members, please be sure to respond to your mentors. That is so important, that we mentor each other. Victoria. We'll reach out to Victoria. What else am I liking? All right. We need one more speaker for next week. 2 more speakers. Send the email out, check with them. All right, Victoria, all right. And then you, because you all have the heads up, that's why I do this. You have the heads up to start on your speech, whereas the other people have to think about it. And then we'll get the other roles filled in. I see our time is running. I do not want to detain you any longer. Toastmaster Biddle.
Okay, here we go. That's it. We got an announcement, y'all. Go.
As you all know, dues are coming due for the next 6-month period. Yes. Toastmasters International sent me an email this morning. Those guys are number 30. Sent me an email this morning that the dues portal is now open.
Right.
Therefore, you all will get an email from me this afternoon with a invoice.
That's what I thought.
Those of you who are paid by the agency, you will get the invoice, but you will get paid by the agency, so don't worry about it. Okay? But everybody else, it has a deadline date on it and everything. So when you get your dues in, the better. Because we need our dues in by September 30th.
No, we need it by September the 1st, because you've got September the 1st is the due. They're already due today. Any date after September the 1st, you've got 20 days. If they're not in 20 days, you are no longer officially a Toastmaster member. So your due is today, this week. They're due no later than September the 1st. Keep that in mind. But we want to get everything started. They're also due March the 1st, and we have March the 1st coming up. We want them not to be delayed, not to be late. Please consider that. At least consider that today.
How many paychecks is in between that? That's my big thing. How many paychecks?
Toastmasters by October 1st. The date that I'm sending on the invoice has dates on it. So we have till October 1st to get them in. Okay?
Until October 1st.
But I need, so pay attention to the dates that are on the invoice. All right?
And it has the information as well as we can use the square,
Yes.
or we can
all
write
the
you a
information
check.
is on the invoice.
Very good. All right. Is there anything else we need to talk about? Do we have a guest in the back? Would you please stand and just tell us your name, please?
Just my name?
Yeah. You can tell. You've got 2 minutes to tell more.
Well, my name is Shannon Hurd. I work for the University of Arkansas Clinical Sciences just down the street.
Yes, welcome.
So I want to take initiative to improve my communication skills, so I'm trying different Toastmaster classes just to see what works for me logistically and everything else. But I did really enjoy this.
Very good. Welcome. Come back next week. We now call this meeting. Okay. Good afternoon. Very good. Come back next week. We welcome you. We're glad that you came to visit. Hi, Carol. This is it. Every good thing has to come to an end in Toastmasters. It's now 1 o'clock. We call this meeting adjourned. Let's visit with the guests.